got something I want to say.
Fuyuhiko, is it okay for you to...
Whatever I say after this point, I apologize in advance if I make a mistake. My last name is Kuzuryu. My first name is pronounced Fuyuhiko. I'm still an inexperienced member of my family's business. From this point forward, I hope we get along so we can get to know each other better.
You fiend.
Huh? Nothing.
However... You... Understand? Hey! And... Shut up! You...
I...
Fuyuhiko!
Huh? Hey, don't mess with me! Do you really think we're gonna forgive you if you just drop to your knees and cry? Do you really think a half-assed apology will make us forgive?
No. I don't think that at all.
This is... No! It's... Ah! What the...
This is bad.
Well... What would Mahiru say? She'd probably get mad. And after she got mad...
Hey.
Huh?
How pitiful.
I see. Well, nice to have met you. Yes. Why, you?
gonna be fine. Even so. So.
Sheesh.
But...
Huh?
Hey,
How pitiful.
Huh? My... Hey, y'all! It's Ibuki Miota! Thanks for coming out today! My specialty is making beef stew! I may not look like it, but people tell me that I'm a nurturing type. So I'm gonna do my very best performance so I... Alright! I'll start singing this first song with full... So, put your hands together for... From me... Thank you, everyone!
What?
Something like this. I'm glad. But... That's not it! Hey! Please wait.
I know.
So...
Sorry.
You nasty pig bar! Gross! Boring! Yay! Roger, thanks for waiting!
There's...
Now that this recovery party is in full, grab a partner and slow dance to... I squeezed out the baby, but I have no idea who the father is.
Stop it!
Jeez! What? What? Ah! Emergency!
What?
Looks like you're just barely avoiding. Yep. At least you're agile, but did you only challenge me just so you can show me?
Damn it! Why can't I even graze you with my attack?
Well, you know, we're on completely different levels.
That means we view the world differently.
It's like a character from a punk manga challenging an enemy from a super-powered battle manga. It's obvious.
Hey! How unfortunate. Right? Don't fuck with me! Damn it!
Don't stop me! This is Nekomaru Nidai's final firework! Make sure you sear it into your eye!
Now then, it looks like everything I say I won't allow any rule disappear!
Nekomaru! Nekomaru! Why did...
Isn't it obvious? Supporting their athletes is a manager. However, what a shame for someone like Nekomaru Nidai it was just a little shot from a bazooka. I really am the worst.
Get a hold of your...
Akane, the time of don't die.
Nekomaru!
That's... What the hell?
Hey! Hey, hey!
Well?
This again?
Just leave the rest to me!
He even recycled the same line again.
We gotta get this patient to the Monokuma Hospital ER and get him under 24-hour observation stat! So, I'll see you later!
What's going on?
No! Hey! Cause... You uggo! Shut up! You. Hey! That is...
Huh? Damn it! Damn it. Super! Ahem! Good.
Yo. Huh. Damn it. Why, you... Sorry.
Hey! So...
I see. Hey. It's the truth, right? Listen. Wait.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Understood. You got it wrong! Yes! That's weird. Why? Understood. What?
Emergency! Just a minute.
What's going on? Hey, hey.
Now then.
Wait! You stupid brother!
Jeez! Shut up!
I don't even know what's been done to me, but I feel a mysterious life energy.
Well now. Well done. That's right. It's the despair disease.
What the?
Actually, it's... well...
Whoa! Damn it!
Let me tell you.
Maybe... Well... Hey, hey, hey!
Hey! Jeez!
You know, right?
You!
Jeez. Mika! Hey, hey. Don't tell me. Bastard! Damn it! Damn it! Don't tell me. Hey, fidget, fidget! Damn it!
Hey! Hey!
Anyway.
Yes. Understood.
Anyway. Damn right. What's up? All right! I get it. That's right! Huh. Damn right.
It is now.
Now then.
You guys, what are you thinking? I don't like this. Unbelievable.
In other words,
What are you saying?
Unbelievable.
Jeez. Jeez, you're pathetic.
Monokuma! Ahem! Good.
Yo. Damn right. This is bad. Now then. What's up?
Nope. Hey.
You... Well... What?
However,
Hey!
You can't!
speak. It is now. Please return to your room now then. Sweet dreams.
Damn it! Jeez, you're pathetic. Jeez.
Yes. Understood.
Yo. Damn it. Jeez. Gee.
won't let you!
Could it... Yeah!
I renounce you!
Hold it.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin! A body has... Now then, after a certain...
What?
Could it be?
Shut the hell up!
This is just... Yes!
Damn it! Damn it!
What's the matter?
This is troubling.
Damn it!
Huh? Damn right. Like... Well... See?
I see. Something like this.
Damn.
Neko.
Hello there.
Did you call? Well, now. Now, Ben.
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates. One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter gunship during a routine military exercise, and was whisked away to Monami's country. Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change. So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami. who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends. Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide, the Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died. He also met a Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows. He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron. After a lot of other stuff happened, Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great and powerful. Eventually, one thing led to another, and he started beating the crap out of Monami. And in the end, he somehow usurped the kingdom from her. With this, Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury. And he lived happily ever after. The end.
Phew!
Bye-bye.
Now then. All right! Hey, hey!
Hello! How's the class try?
Fine.
Now then, let's begin with during the class trial. If you vote correct,
You know, because I was even if you do grab...
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it.
You're fine. You're...
Empty head?
Since he's the first... The other 5 in the motel team were myself...
We immediately headed over to the I made Mikan... When I... A video of someone...
Amazing! That's such...
I tried... I thought I should tell the others right away.
Why the motel? And when that happened, and not just that.
That's when we heard the body discovery.
And so
When we removed...
Hajime, if you think...
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
if Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the kid.
Did Hajime...
The fact that the body means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, and the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, and the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all,
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can... After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously, because...
Did Hajime kill...
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, and the fact that Ibuki...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all,
Why would Hajime...
Well, obviously, because...
Did Hajime kill...
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong! I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never... Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date. Isn't that right?
yes. No.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, or did anyone tell him what happens in the...
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I think it also provides a good warm...
What warm-up?
Don't get mad.
What a waste of time.
Ibuki committed suicide.
A murder coincidence?
The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done...
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no... That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely... Which means, when we broke down the venue door, The killer was still inside. If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital...
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Me too!
Hey! Wait! You're kidding, right? Please stop making...
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door?
That door should not have...
The lock was on the floor.
Are you talking about the broken...
You can use that as a... By doing that, it waited till we get... And suddenly it...
So they look like... I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside by locking the door from the inside. The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Damn it! The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us.
It seems they were
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor.
Are you talking about the broken...
You can use that as a... By doing that, the killer waited till we gathered, and suddenly it...
So they look like... I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Damn it! The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door, they tried to keep us.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to...
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor and...
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside. It was a semi-transparent glass stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent. Crap!
semi-trans glue?
It had a firm, gel-like tuning based on all that.
I didn't know glue was edible. I believe it is not something one tip.
That glue was only applied to the areas where by pouring it in the gaps of the closed door.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, but that doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make...
What?
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko
And they also taped her up after...
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable...
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue...
And when you went back with everyone else. But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that... Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That's...
We will never give up! Got it! Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there was a... Right. See?
I see. Okay.
But if you guys were exception... It's all coming together! Got it! Kyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the...
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger... So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Kyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time. Well, that's understandable.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko.
And because of that...
But the crime itself would be much easier. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room.
When was Hiyoko
Good point. It's about time we shed some light on those.
Hey, don't look. I don't eat much. I knew it. There are.
Not just that, but
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie. Although
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the...
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out. I see!
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
then Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
a valid line of reason.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as...
If you're going to cry and beg,
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to
An even bigger jerk?
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
You're a pony.
Man, he's being annoying.
First and foremost.
It seems you're...
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries. Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that...
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good one. But are you sure you're sure? You're so frightened you can... However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belongs... Impossible! Try to remember the crime. There was... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about 1 minute. See a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki... Impossible! Try to remember the crime. There was no blood. You can't step on blood that was never... Just about 1 minute. See a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's... Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. See a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about... See a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never there. See a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words. It's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away after.
Don't say such foolish.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, Ibuki must have already stepped in it. And the killer probably...
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we... Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't... Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far. Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's auto...
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence for us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's...
Can't you just shut up and back...
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again?
Hey, if the victim actually committed...
The same as always. You have to vote for who. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish my...
Why me? Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide...
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if he... For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember?
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders. Right after Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after, the killer had to be alive at that...
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was... If she waited until Hajime left...
She hanged herself! Remember? There's no fucking way she could have...
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
There's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad.
What the heck?
There's still... If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was... According to that video you saw, then does that mean someone...
Forrest?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud. So, maybe... So... Our plan is to destroy the weakest ally. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took... But just to be sure...
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know?
The video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hit... And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person... Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people.
And what about the...
Right before the morning, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the
So everyone who stayed at the motel... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the...
Right before the... I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone...
So everyone who stayed at... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning and... I was totally sleeping in my...
I think everyone...
So everyone who's... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to...
That's not...
Aside from those, if nobody has an alibi, Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane.
And what about the...
Right before the... I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone...
So everyone who's... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to...
That's not...
Aside from those afflicted, if nobody has an alibi, then...
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right? We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the...
Right before the morning and I was totally sleeping in my motel.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who's... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing. In fact, Mikan and I both...
You two have...
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up to...
Hey, what kind of
I accidentally... Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before...
I get it. You got...
If that's the case, the killer might...
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of...
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before...
It feels like Operation Destroy...
But committing an imitation murder... Faking the time the crime occurred by... Was that the only reason the killer made...
Are you saying there was a...
I feel really bad for confusing you guys, so... I think the killer had a completely different...
I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like that? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why, everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Did I confuse you? If so...
Man, this again.
If that's the case, if that happened, that rule is too harsh.
Seriously, just shut up already!
But I'm thinking about it again, and...
Because they didn't kill...
It's not just... about the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body...
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion... But Hyoko's body was suspended by common... Maybe they just used a common... Well, that's probably it, but... That if falsifying the murder sequence was they should have taken steps to properly...
But if we never
What are you trying to say? Are you...
I'm saying... I understand that it's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details?
Like, for example, why did
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying...
However, this is getting quite...
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned... If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
Why did she go to the music venue? There's no way you'd...
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's it, maybe she got abducted.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Why did she go to the music? There's no way you'd...
Maybe the killer...
If that's it, maybe she got
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music.
So,
If no one called for her, then why did she...
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the... I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because...
There's no way she got abducted.
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way...
The killer...
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene. At the time, you were the one who actually picked out the...
I won't move! Are you saying my gut was wrong? This will be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just... No! Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk! I'll shut you up right now! Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering her kimono. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She thought that's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer! That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. Damn it! The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later! There's no reason for the killer probably did... Hold on! Try remember her kimono... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words! The reason Hyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out.
Hyoko seemed to be really struggling with... I believe that was one of the reasons. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she...
Then, the reason her kimono was messed up...
Yeah, she went to the venue...
I get it. I lost.
Hajime, now's your chance! Make her admit it.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hyoko would go to the music...
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hyoko...
Though I knew she would go there, there is n...
Don't go doubting this Sonia, you creep...
Kazui, do you want me to incinerate your...
Gundam, please stop!
Of course!
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is...
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was
killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill... The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head.
Killed
Because the killer used that coincidence.
That's the reason they imitated the movie.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murder.
Then what was the killer actually planning? They've been cunning this far. Do you have any...
Damn, you don't know the most...
Hey, Nagito, any idea?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay... Oh, am I allowed to... I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps! Everyone actually needs help from scum...
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally... Ibuki definitely didn't...
Huh?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and But now I remember. There was blood on... So if she faked her death... There'd be bloody footprints left in various places. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death.
You know, we already finished talking...
Really? That's annoying. I guess I... Are you freaking kidding me?
Strange. This is strange?
with this. If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Do you notice such a small detail? How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
But didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no...
Unless there was something funny.
I see. So there was some...
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he...
Hajime, I leave it in as long as I leave this to you.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Here!
That's right, I remember now. There was definite...
Can you explain it to...
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty. There was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts... There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death...
Even so, the fact is the stepladder in the video is completely bloodless.
There's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of...
It's possible those two stepladders were...
Wait, are you saying there were two? But where would you find another stepladder?
And one of the stepladders was somewhere other...
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video... That's amazing, Chiaki! All that...
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
The hospital monitor's supposed to display footage.
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also...
It's all coming together! That's it. The killer just with it. They made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyogo's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the...
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was...
That's true. In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining... I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces As long as it was in pieces, my attention was so focused on the body that even...
And the moment Hajime left the mute...
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection...
Despite Kazuichi's desperate
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue was amazing enough.
will never give up! filmed at the hospital.
Huh? Conference?
But the hospital and the music venue...
That's exactly why the killer did something.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
Damn it! There's no way the music venue look...
Which place resembled... Did the conference room look like the... Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe we mixed up the filming location. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it! What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain, but after the incident, it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right!
Oh yeah? Well,
that curtain was hung so the music in actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light blocking.
I see. The conference room. The same color as the music venue stick. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor match.
Matching floors, matching curtains.
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the music video. In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
but wouldn't they have...
That might have been another reason, but... The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so... That's why the killer used a candle.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make you think of it.
With candlelight, with that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in it.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, but it appears the killer already covered that up.
But there's no mistake. That's the only...
The motel would have been too far. And then...
But this must be a surprising... You never suspected that the video you saw...
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime. It's a if Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the... Then was Ibuki killed at the...
No, that's not... Right after Hajime saw that video...
The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was the killer The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was on...
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened.
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a...
The reason the killer made a fake... There's only one possibility I can think of. Then naturally, the killer's identity will...
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying...
You're the only one! You're the killer, aren't you? Like I said, aren't you the killer?
Hey, don't a chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly...
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely...
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only...
It's just a coincidence.
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence? You said you were going to the on-call room. But you actually... That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance. Put the bag on your head. By doing that, you made up a video that showed... And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must mean...
That's impossible!
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense?
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure?
Wrong! It's totally wrong!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikan is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
That slow-witted remark is not
It's fine. I've been like this for a long... In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place. Even how many times do I have to tell you?
What do you say?
Do you still believe?
Do you? Hey, me...
Hey, Hajime!
Can you hold on a minute? Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killing history. I thought it was suspicious all along. From the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating the role.
Hey, what are you...
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that... I've been so focused on everybody else this week.
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't...
Actually, this is...
Please don't say such controversial statement.
Well, what do you know, Nabi?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that...
Hey, that's like a decisive clue.
Let's take a look. Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from, this rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any...
Again with the supermarket?
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new.
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long.
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full strength, and strangled her. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clip. What exactly did you say to me during the investment?
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth will obviously, just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki.
And then, I finished speaking. Huh? You didn't notice it? Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it! So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time. You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it?
That is...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You locked her.
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strength. You, Miko.
First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify it. That's why it's not...
You were right.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and...
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right.
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw...
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe... It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly...
So Mikan volunteered...
That's a little...
I'm not a criminal. Mikan is.
You got it all wrong.
I'm sorry, but there's no... I just can't forgive this...
Forgiveness or not, we still have...
I see. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes... But is that really okay?
You're friggin' annoying!
There's no way!
Is that really true?
Stop it already!
I can't stop! I don't want to do this either! Of course I don't want to do... But I need to do...
You doubt your friend?
That's not it! I suspect them because I want to believe them!
What the hell does that...
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposite.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt...
Don't say deep stuff. Like,
if you want to believe in someone, you need... Belief without doubt is
Fine. Do whatever you...
Huh? Is that all you can say? So in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh? Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault. Everyone always treats me like that. done with the problem. I'm done with that! You hear me? I'm done! It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Not fair! Why won't you forgive me? You forgive? What did I do? Why won't anyone?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Plus, to be honest,
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some? I'm the same as Hajime. But still, the truth is one of us murdered two of us. That's why we gotta stick with this until the very end, so we can find... Hey, Mikan, can I ask you one? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched?
Like I said...
Can you prove it?
Wait! Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that? That's right! Because treating me like a chicken... Yeah, it's totally why does everybody always hate me?
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer!
It seems she finally started arguing. But the only one who can find a hole in her argument. So,
Why do you get to decide I'm the killer?
we can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different bodies.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed it.
Is the handbag off the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that camera angle. Just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Oh, do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown just from that video? Just from that camera angle? I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that video.
Is the handbag off? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really your... You could tell her body type just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me.
Hajime, pay close attention. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different bodies.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make... So please forgive...
Hajime, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that gift? There's no way you'd be so pleased! Hajime, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer! We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly...
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the... Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed it.
Is the hemp bag on? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital...
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candle.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me!
Hajime, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed it.
Is the hemp bag on? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital...
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that dip.
There's no way you'd be so pleased!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that video.
Is the hemp bag on her head? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed it.
Is the hemp bag on? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital...
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please... Forgive me already!
Hajime, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed it.
Is the hemp bag on her head? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any... Is the hemp bag on her head? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than me who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that camera angle?
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the hemp bag on? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that dip.
There's no way you'd be so pleased for...
Hajime, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of...
We will never give up! We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the handbag up? Is the hospital bed? Or could it be the hospital? Ibuki and Mika. Is that really? We could tell her body just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to. So please,
Hajime, pay close attention and you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the handbag on her head? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clear.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction. Mikan, you've As I said before many times, I'm the only one.
What's wrong?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
The only reason Mikan knew the camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video.
This is your just reward. The more you lied, didn't you?
I was wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible. You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Ding!
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting...
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in...
How do you know so much about that?
More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that was sold at the movie theater? Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remember the... Oopsie! Don't worry about it. I remember even if... Ta-da! There's no mistake that tote bag is a limited item. So don't you think it's... Using one tote bag in both the conference room and the music venue at the same time? It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible. That's why that video isn't fabricated. So you'll forgive me!
Taking your stubbornness this far.
Then you're gonna forgive me? Two places at the same time. You still haven't forgiven me! Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me! You're done for! Why only me? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time!
This is the end! Monokuma. Whoever bought that, which means it's not impossible to use that bag in two separate...
What?
It seems...
Why does everybody always hate me?
Mikon, after I go over your crime from the beginning, and he's just admitted already, in the end... Everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Nikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music video. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music video, so I immediately headed over there. But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. Then, they filmed that video in the hospital complex. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time. When in fact, the crime had already been committed by them. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a... Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the... When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have... Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video. But when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't. In the end, the killer, they broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. They made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hyogo's. At the time, they pretended to be surprised. Inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
It's been this feeling. I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing. This feeling of just...
Mikan! Whoa there! Before that... It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to... Now then, please, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Let's go! Well now, correct!
Damn it! I won't forgive you.
Hey! What's going on? Hey!
Oh, that's obvious. Hey.
What?
What?
It cannot be.
Perhaps... See? Jeez. Isn't that right? Possible.
Oh?
Huh? Huh?
My beloved was the only one. That's right, never hated me. They forgave me and they gave me that. They loved me. I loved them with all my... This is... It's love.
Hey.
Well... how amazing. Could it be?
This is... But... such despair.
Chan.
Hey.
Let's...
What? Yo! I've kept... Hey! What's... Perhaps you don't remember my face, since we haven't seen it. That's pretty sad, you know? Huh? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it.
Haven't you...
What do you mean, no? Oh, you mean this... The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
Danganronpa.
I already know. Hey, hey!
Pure electricity!
Damn it. Sorry.
You serious? Hey, hey.
Hey.
Huh? Show some spirit!
Amazing!